Hi everyone, my name is Shiba Agarwal. I'm a first degree black belt in Taekwondo from the Netherlands. And today I'm going to be interviewing Grandmaster Hee Kwan Lee. Such a privilege to talk to you, sir, today. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
So to start off with, please tell us more about the background that you have in martial arts.
Okay. First, thank you, Shiba. That's a very honor to have talk to you. And um, English is my second language, so forgive me. Sometimes it's kind of a little slow. But my martial art background is a kind of long time ago. It's 1961. It's a start. It's almost 60 some years ago. It's a pretty long time ago. And I have come to United States 1979. It's about 42 years ago. So my new life as a martial art instructor. That time I come to USA to teach Taekwondo, Tangso Murokwan, and Hapkido. So that's my new career start my journey. So that's what
Wonderful.
started my Hapkido and what I say, moved to new land of English country here. And since then, I got almost 41 years in a small town of the Michigan, USA. I live in still same town. I'm still living in here. So.
Yeah. Wonderful. So, obviously you've been practicing martial arts for a very, very long time. And you mentioned that you, of course, have done Taekwondo as well as Hapkido. What would you say? So I don't know very much about Hapkido. So I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit more about the sport of Hapkido, of the art of Hapkido, as well as what the differences are, the fundamental differences perhaps between Taekwondo and Hapkido.
Okay. I think so. Taekwondo is a Korean martial art. As a Hapkido is the same thing. It's a Korean martial art. But Taekwondo is, most of them is kicking, punching, and right now it's in Olympics. It's a lot of kicking and more punching to the, practicing it, focusing as a tournament, a lot of tournament. Hapkido has the more like a combination martial arts. It's not just only kicking and punching like a Taekwondo. We have exactly the same, but also we do falling technique and joint lock, pressure point, and weapon techniques. Is a more to it. So
I see. Would you say that because I know from my very few 5 years experience in Taekwondo that the end point of Taekwondo is self-defense ultimately. Is this also the case in Hapkido as well?
Yes, Hapkido is a defense. Most of them is somebody attack with the it's like a empty hand versus the weapon, empty hand versus the empty hand, and try to like overall. Pretty much we look at as some kind of bodyguards or FBI or Green Beret. Maybe they're learning it. I call the Hapkido technique. They have all different kind of size of staff, like a long staff, short staff, or knife, or they're all in the Hapkido program. So
I see. Okay. So could you tell us a little bit more about the Global Hapkido organization that you've started, maybe a little bit of history of that as well, since you came to the United States?
Okay. Global Hapkido is born and not too long ago. It's a very short period. I think so. Hapkido industry, look at it as a global, is a baby. Now we are the very young organization, but I have a big organization in Korea. I representing to USA for over 40 years. I did that. And there are a lot of them focusing on the Korea has, and then try to World Championship is a triennial World Championship in Korea, always in Korea. And 2010, I brought up the first time in the USA. I brought to the world. I translated all rule and regulation to English. They're always in Korea, so I got the English. So over 15 countries now translate. You got this book, you can run a championships. So we try to Korea has the great big Hapkido organization wanted to promote it to worldwide. But every time we go to Korea to World Championship tour, then they are announced to the what do they call? Call to each name is English, but they are after that and not using as the English. They're using as the Korean language.
Okay.
And then even the Korean championship there, and the participant their book, even book has a lot of them just Korean in there. So even the Brazil is a Portuguese, and Mexico or the Colombia, they're all Spanish, and then they're all everybody reading in English. So I always I think put it into starting to do some English to then more majority understanding it, but they are using as the most focusing on. Nowadays they are changing it, but back then when I bring out to the United States is that really they needed to change. Otherwise it's a great art, but we're not promoting to the worldwide. They're just so that's reason I need to have some focusing on to the selling to this thing to the world. Is so many countries are already teaching at Hapkido, but that they are always go to the Taekwondo championship or the karate championship, or that they are under, they needed their own, identity. So I try to rule and regulation. Everybody needed. I just give it to them. I just send it to them. Hapkido has our own rule and regulation. So we should be running identified who we are. That's what I opened up to my organization.
That's really wonderful. So as you have actually taken the Korean rules, as I understand it, you've taken the Korean rule book and also the how-to of Hapkido and translated it into English. Have you actually noticed a difference perhaps between how they do things in Korea, or are you trying to and where you are in the States, or are you trying to make sure that the way that people do things in Korea is exactly the way that people do things also in the United States and other countries where Hapkido is practiced?
Yes, we did this. The Korean, every country has a rule and regulation different. Law is different. So we bring up to their law. We almost, this book here, over 30 years to translate for 30 years.
Wow.
We fit it into our law here in the United States. So actually based on Korean rule to bring certain thing, we cannot do it here, So we have to change that a little, modify this just a little bit to how to fit in English to understand. Some of them is like Taekwondo is already Olympic, so that multi-language there. But Hapkido is no one really give you time and effort to do that. You have no idea how many times we meeting. I mean, we got so many hours and so many days. We have almost 3 years over. Sit there and everybody just get. We have a martial art background. Sit down to the board. That's the reason we come up to this book. Otherwise, it's no way. It's still struggling about this rule and regulation. So you're exactly right. It's a Korean rule come out, not just only translate to the understanding it. It referees what they mean. So that's why we got so much, over 30 years is why that took so long to translate. That's a reason. Some words we bring in and then make it in English, and then all Hapkido participants understanding what they mean, so that's why we did it now. And this book can, we have already World Championship, and Thailand has the World Prime Minister, you see that?
Yes.
Championship did that. Yep. And then also we did this is Mexico 2017. It's a World Championship.
Wonderful.
Did that.
Yes.
And then we got a lot of different championships, by the way, but also next year we do it in Kathmandu, Nepal. It's a World Championship and there. And then about 2 years ago, we did the St. Petersburg, Russia. We go down there 3 years ago. I go down there, train to the referee training to Russia there. And then we did the Russia, St. Petersburg. And we did about 5 years ago, we did the training to the Netherlands, by the way. We got the Netherlands, but we never had a World Championship in Netherlands yet. But I love to have someday. Grandmaster Peter Sander. He's the GHA Global Hapkido Association. He's the European president of our organization.
I see.
A very respectable Grandmaster. I like to have a more talk about it. We lost over a year. This pandemic, we lost.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So soon as this thing is the end of this year, I hope we can pray about it. Open. Then I like to more go try to open the Europe has a maybe Netherlands has a one. We like to have a bring to the world to Hapkido Championship. So I am promoting to the World Championship to the world. So we do have a school in Cuba, and I know everybody talks about Venezuela is a really hitting bad economy right now, but they are great martial artists. So over thousands of students there. They're just a hope. So someday their government settle down. I love they have even Cuba, even the Venezuela, Colombia, and I love to have a South America too. We try to some kind of championship. We got a rule and regulation. I go out there, I teach to them how to do it. Even they can do it. Like a city, state, and try to themselves a national, and then world championship. I like to conduct the certain different countries. That's why I'm busy to go around. And we have a youngest organization, but we do have a international seminar or the championship. We bring more countries to bring together than I think some other organization. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
That's wonderful. So you actually reach out to these people, to these different organizations or different schools in different countries, and basically work with them to create, the rule book, which has, which changes according to those countries' law, is what I understood from you.
Yes.
Okay.
For example, is they carried into the Russia. We did the Russia 3 years training, and then they said that their law is a certain long jump for kind of falling techniques. Some of them is a government allowed. It's an insurance something or what, I don't know.
Right.
So we take it out. So certain thing is a basic. It's a here. It's a law. It's a here. It's a go to their country, and then they just modify just a little bit to change. The basic is already here. Rule and regulation is already here. But each country has a own law. We can change it just a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your school in Michigan, USA. How have you been coping for the past year with this pandemic? I mean, I know that a lot of schools, all over the world actually are sort of in trouble. So what have you done in your particular sort of dojo or doyoung, I guess, to keep things going, sort of?
Well, I wanted to tell you, this building is, I built it 17 years ago. If I renting it, there's no way I keep it right now. I thought maybe last year, springtime, as soon as I come back from Korea, they have something, shutting down. I thought maybe a couple months, maybe we open. But they're just dragging up. And then maybe June, maybe open. And then there's another, maybe August. They don't say that when. They said that maybe a few months, maybe, so our governor is just pushing back. So we thought maybe few months, not just over a year, But I think every business, not just me, every business has the course. It's a tough time. Even we shut down, still almost $5,000 a month is going out. You think about a whole year, that's a lot of money, So, but still, you need to have maintained your school. Otherwise, I built this one. I cannot maintain. I'm losing at this building. So I do my best. And then we are still have around the world. We have, I told you about the other countries around the globe. And they do have small groups testings and stuff. They send it to, so we get certificates and make and stuff. So I get continuously shut down to the summertime, but we had a little bit Zoom class, to do that and try to somehow to life. I told all schools, my following schools, there some of them is closed too, but some of them I told them, why now don't think about you making money. You just keeping it, your school is making money. Just to
Yeah.
keep it somehow to the hold on to it. This will end. Soon as the pandemic's end, we will ready. Then
Yes.
you shut down and you reopen again. That's So it is not easy for me, really. I'm not just me. I think everybody.
Yes.
But
Of course.
but we need to survive. I come here. I got an empty hand. Come to United States. I did this
Oh,
far. And now this much stuff I built it. Yeah, we can survive.
yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
And this is I guess this is also the advice that you're giving to the member schools of your organization of Hapkido. I'm guessing that everybody, well, I mean, I mean, we are all sort of facing a lot of difficulties at the moment, and it's difficult in this sense to keep the arts like this alive.
Mm.
And so I guess, my next question really is the spiritual side of Hapkido, of Taekwondo, or probably any martial art that, anybody practices. And, GM Peter Sanders, of course, talks a lot about Do in Taekwondo. What does
Yes.
Do mean to you? So I was actually curious to find out, especially, I guess, in this really hard time of the Corona time,
Yeah.
what is your idea of Do? Like, what is Do
Well,
to you?
the Do is the sort of Budo is the improvement yourself. Actually, it's myself. Improvement is myself. It's like both of mental and a physical is together, just all of them. Not like a military practice. It's a busul. It's the training to themselves as the lot of physical.
Right.
Do that. But though you need to have a daily life. You just think as a not just only physically. So most younger black belts and younger studying martial artists, they're all about strengths. Just think about that, Yes, they do need a technique, but over the year, the grandmasters has the techniques there. They need the knowledge to give them to the students.
Yeah.
It's just all dope to you just think as a training mentally and physically. Sometimes you're not think about it mentally, then something issue come up, you're angry quickly, you're not thinking clearly,
Mhm.
you know.
Yes.
So that's the reason it's really important to have you have some grandmasters, for this. You can call, you can email, continue contact with them. Their wisdom is a great thing. You just, Oh, another thing is I want to advise is always two brain is better than one brain. Five brain is better than four brain. So more people around you is the more smarter you are. So try to not just. I do talk to the younger student. Is that they need it. Not think about a mental thing, just training. Body to train there. But Grandmaster Peter Sender and myself, we're training so long. So this is a habit of it. We did it back then, 50, some 40 years ago. We're nothing but a physical training, trust me.
Yeah.
But we never trained the mental training that time. We don't have a
Yes.
time. We wanted to get the strong first. So, so this is the daily life training for your life. And best I'm advice is the older your father, your grandfather or grandmother or your aunt or uncles. Just keep talk to their life experience. That you can learn something from them. This is a part of it. You're learning it from your mentor. Some people just strong but physically. But there's a more important thing is that master and grandmaster is the mentor is the more important than physical power. But a lot of people thinks, well, we gotta always do need a training. We do need a training, but we training more training for mental than physical. Everybody talk about a physical, but not many of us talk about a mental aspect. We are the leaders. Even I wanted to tell you, even animal, monkeys, we can teach the form, we can teach the thing.
Yeah.
We are not an animal. We are human, and monkey cannot think and create stuff. He cannot do that. Monkey is animal. We are not an animal. We are human. We are very small. So we do need a train to the mental aspect of more focusing on masters and grandmasters. That's what I wanted to share with you.
No, that's absolutely wonderful, because I mean the thing is, I think that the spirituality of martial art is very important to impart that to your students. So is there something specific that you do for example, for your students, or for somebody, you know, if you're sitting across from somebody who is a martial artist who is very much focused on the physical and not so much on the mental, how would you teach them, or how would you essentially start the conversation about Do and the spirituality of it?
Well, first thing is they do need a physical first. You know, younger generation, they need to physical to understand the mental thing. You teach the mental first, I don't think they understand what is he talking about. I'm sure they are now understand. So first thing I wanted to say to them is you're training hard, but you always communicate with your masters. And sometimes the master, they're afraid to talk to the masters. But there is a knowledge is all, you know, I told all students here, did you know what makes you strong? And they said that training hard and other thing. I said that it's a knowledge. Whatever you know more, that's as powerful you are. Just knowledge is the, you know, very powerful you, stronger you are. But the most younger generation is just training to make it like an iron body, you know, that's the strongest one. But me, so what is the strongest is knowledge. Whatever you get into your brain, that is how powerful you are, you know. So try to also, I advise them to try to talk to your seniors and respect. You know, we are Taekwondo and Hapkido, we always respect the elders, not just only martial arts, it's even outside.
Yes.
You know, some young generation now, they don't like something, then they just shout the orders. And that one, you know, when I grew up, no one do that in a Asian country. And then nowadays, they do it a lot. But you need to respect, you know, to the orders, not only instructors. But also instructors has the same thing. Respect is both way, not one way.
Yes.
So I do respect that everybody, no matter what ranking is. And we are master and grandmasters. We come from there. We come from white belt. We not come from just a born and grandmaster. You know? So we are same thing. We are always remind ourselves to where we come from, you know, how they start. So let that just now is 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, you know, started. But still, you once in a while just look back where I come from, and then I'm changing it now. I'm now top, so I'm so good. So everybody just pushing down. And no, you need to who you are. You always maintain the same who you are. You know, I wanted to tell you one thing. I go around the world to seminar. Then you know what I told her after seminar. I always say, and I'm sure Grandmaster Peter Sander heard too. After seminar, I told them to the all participants, I said, I wanted to tell you right now, somehow this seminar, we taken a couple of days or 3 days, 4 days. Some reason you like it, you will like it next month, you will like it year from now, or 10 years from you will like it. But some reason you don't like it, this seminar, month later, year later, even 10 years later, you will not like it. Why? That's who I am. Yeah. I'm not making you impress you. That's who I am. You like it, just continue. Even 10 years later, you still like it. I know that. You saw who I am. That's why I have a friends like a 40, 50, 60 years of friend. I still got tons of them, friends. That's a very important to have who you are, not just in front of it, something stronger than you and you're nice. And then lower than you, and then you just, you know, tough. That's we need to show them who we are, where we come from. And I think so. That's very important to have all human. We forgot, you know, where we come from. You know, sometimes so we're going up there, then we not look back there. We do need to look back where we come from.
I think one of the things that really, you know, impressed, or, you know, the one thing that I feel that is amazing to me doing Taekwondo in the Netherlands with my GM Peter Sanders and my own master is the accessibility of the masters and the grandmasters. I mean, I can talk to my master, Colin Bucker, I can talk to GM Peter Sanders and you know, address, you know, exchange ideas. We can talk about different things. And if I want advice, I can do that. And I really, really like that accessibility. And I mean, of course, there is a lot of respect on both sides. And I feel that is mutual. And I think this is something which I really, really enjoy in the art. Of course, the physical part is amazing. But the accessibility and the emotional and spiritual part of it is also something that I very much enjoy myself personally.
Grandmaster Sandel is a part of my mentor too. I respect him, and then every time I talk to, and then I'm learning some from him too. You gotta always. I very respect it. He's a great man. Yes.
Yes, I agree. And you know what? You will say to him, he's a great man, and he'll be like, no.
Yes, that's true. No. Yeah.
Sir, I have one more question for you. What do you see the future of martial arts like Hapkido and Taekwondo? How do you see the future looking for these martial arts?
Well, I think nowadays different than courses back is now is everybody. Even I notice even the not even go to elementary kid has an iPhone on it. Even a kid got a phone in nowadays. It's kind of so much to focus on electronic games and other things. But I'm not too much worried. So what it is you look at the history. You look at it. Sooner or later, people waking up, parents were waking up. They need it physically. I know most of people sick and go taking all the medicine. Best medicine in the world is martial arts training. It's true. Yeah. Mine is the oldest student is 79. He's testing third dan this year.
Wow.
And then 75 years old, his partner is another third dan testing this year. And we look at it. First, he's started our school and maybe 8 years ago. That time is not even 7, what is it? 70, no, 75 years old. Mr. Cropper is not even 70 at that time. Both of them come to start, and we teach a basic front stretching, and they're not even knee, just so quickly, and then put it down. The reason is that they don't want to lose a balance and fall and broke head. Guess what? Now they can kick it on my face.
Oh, wow.
Almost 80 years old. Just think about it. 80 years old. How many 80 years old wanted to do that? They pray, pick up their 1 feet, they think they're losing balance, they think they'll fall down.
Yes.
So there you look at it, and they, every time come in, they sweat, and they just are loving it. Yeah. So it's kind of, sooner or later, parents will see that, we'll see it. Kids kind of so lazy, and they are need to have put his phone down and go to the martial art thing. I think so we'll come back to the, that's what I think. And then another thing is we need to make it not just only kicking and punching and joint leg and pressure point hurting them. It's a fun thing. So we do have a lot of different, only Global has curriculum books and Amazon around, around. And we got a Steph and then knife and then a pen. And we have a lot of different, this book has the QR code to all forms. Every page has a QR code.
Nice.
So you can have a video, seeing it. And all of them is kind of talent. So we show them to the, not just only, that's why Hapkido is great about it. We got a fan technique, soul technique, Steph techniques, and it's all kind of different techniques with it. So they are starting to realizing, we got to soon. It's like a next year, I'm going to the Cincinnati for the Korean archery seminar. Okay.
Nice.
So even archery, everybody do archery, but with the Korean style archery, we're not doing a finger, we're doing a thumb to twist it and then, shoot it. And then 2-man shooting, 3-man shooting. It's like a military. One of them stand up shooting, then one of them duck down, and then they're loading, and I shoot it, and then I'm ready to load it, and he's standing up to shooting it, and it's kind of different thing, but it's try to kids have I gotta do group together, something doing it. So we grandmasters and masters need to let them kids have a interesting and just have fun. Important things are not just only training hard for just sweat and physically, but also it's just kind of fun memories. So as soon as they're training and then kids are in a car or the parents pick them up, first thing they're asking, you have fun?
Yeah.
Yes. And then you don't have a memory of not fun, then, but you do have a certain thing fun doing it, then yeah, that's what they bring to the friends and something. Also, we are asking that something open up the school, brand new schools. I visiting maybe 40 students they got. Then I told them that I invite the parents and everybody.
Yeah.
And then I told the parents and the students, I wanted to tell you, you have a great master, so you're teaching it.
Yeah.
And that masters should be their knowledge to give you technique and everything to your kids. Every parents agree with me. Then I asked them, did you know that we are now here is the Hapkido, we are the Hapkido. Even Taekwondo is Taekwondo. We are Taekwondo family, we're the Hapkido family. So who's helping family? It's a family helps a family. So I told them, your instructor should be not focusing on the students and how to pay the bill. Let them, he's worried about teaching your children. And then you bring to the only one friend, best friend, bring one. Not two or not three. It's this space is limited. I don't want it to two, three, just to bring one. Guess what? Next time I visit, they got to double that Zim. Just how do you market it? You know, bring to your parents to, they are, think about yourself, go around to the world, or the 20 parents, you know, not 20, 20 is a mom and dad, is, you know, 40 parents. Go to salesman there, just one bring to the each student. Their student is never lose interest in it. Their body, you know, the best body in the class. That's what they do are not growing. And then once in a while, that's the same thing. Just bring to the lesser student to bring student is never leave. They stay with you. So just try to the marketing, you know, strategy is how do you make your kids to, you know, loyal to come to work together, and you know, this is called teamwork. So let them parents, kids. I told every time kids are joining it, and I also talked to the parent. I said, listen, we have the teamwork to do it. You bring in, we're teaching it, but sometimes a beautiful sunny day and their friends are swimming in middle of swimming. Okay, let's go to the, you know, Taekwondo. Oh, not today. So you have to agree with you. You bring in, sometimes they are still kid, you know, we are adult. So bring in there and we will make it here to work. So we got it all together, student, parents, and then instructors. They work together to make it happen, you know. It is struggling now. So we should do a more, we just, last week, we got seminar here, over 40, you know, New York and Las Vegas and Ohio, Indiana, they all come to here for the seminar. So we share the knowledge. Like, for example, we have Mexico has a branch there. First he joining, he only 2 schools. Now he got a 25 school. You think about it, school. So 25 school, he got most of black belt testing. Every year I go down here. Most of black belt testing is 80 1 year. 80 black belt testing is the most. You know, most of them is a 50 or, you know, first time testing next year, you're not gonna. So some new black belt coming up. And then also maybe first time testing, maybe 2 years ago, they are testing second dan, you know, that kind of thing. So we are given to the other school owner to hit. We very experienced that, their growth. So he got about a suburb building himself. He's just growing. So he just helping to the how to instructor to, you know, pumping up. And another things I wanted to tell to the all grandmasters and masters. A lot of times the grandmaster go out there, they're the only one teacher every single class. My school here, over 10 years, I don't go to teaching anymore, just only seminar instructors and stuff. So students, as soon as I go, then they're all instructors, the share of them are behind. They're sharing. Even color bear testing, I never even go out. Color bear. They are masters there. That's I want them to recognize.
I see.
They are important. So once, you know, 2 times a year, black belt testing, I do it. To go down there, I do it. But color belt, everybody should be respect the instructors. Instructors is important. Your daily training with your instructor, you should be bring up to your instructor focus. And then master and grandmasters focusing on to the how to train to the instructor and how to open up the branches. That's what we need to. Make sense to you?
It does. No, absolutely. Absolutely. I think you have combined very, ingenuously the art itself of Hapkido, as well as how to, basically spread it and have more and more people enjoy this art,
Yeah.
not just in the US, but, in Korea, but around the world, clearly. So I think it's amazing what you've done.
I think it's a class when you teach, it's always remember to small group teach and large group teaching. Always a large group teaching is more better than small group,
Uh-huh.
But some instructor like the small group better. Did you know that? Yeah, they do. But I like the better large group. So like sometimes I see a very small school and an overcrowd, and so we cannot teaching. I said, yes, don't worry, I know how to do it. And then I just go down there, and then maybe a small school with maybe 50 students there, then I can divide in half. And then half, okay, half is go surround, sit down. And then watching is a part of the learning too. Whatever they kick, whatever they do a form, you watching it, you can see, oh, that guy is look like my form is like this. Oh, that's my kick just like that. You're watching is a learning too. So with this watching it, I do 5 minutes to 10 minutes training really hard. They wanted to, sit down. Then, okay, then it's a change, switching it. So one of them to sit to watch the class. They love to sit down anyway. So how is a class conducting it? That kind of thing is older grandmaster know the technique. That's why it's younger instructors coming up. They always communicate with your masters. Sometimes they don't have a masters there. You need to find a master and grandmaster. Their knowledge is shared to you. Trust me.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Wonderful. Thank you so much, GM. This has been so enjoyable. It's such a privilege to talk to you. So thank you for your time. And I really appreciate that, all your beautiful insights on Hapkido. And I really hope that, we do have that we can meet each other in the Netherlands when there is a tournament here for Hapkido.
Yes, ma'am. We're looking forward to it. Thank you so much.